And then when we go into the game, ready? Ready? Timing goo, timing goo. Aw, yeah, nice and fat. I wonder if 1610 looks better, because 16.9 looks a little bit stretched for some reason. Oh, that looks much better. Oh, I'm a genius. Does it look better? It definitely looks better. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Okay. The players don't even look as fat anymore. Nice. Okay. So, looks like it is in fact a TVT. And we're gonna have who's who? I think Iris is the red Terran and C is the blue Terran. Alright, let me put this in the overlay. Iris is T2, C is T8. Center that a little bit. Yoink. Alright, sweet. So, Air Force Ace, losing the Broodor best of 3, needs to take the StarCraft 2 best of 3 if we are to see an ace match. Now, by the way, both of these teams, even though they were like bottom of the rankings last season, and I think in round 1 they weren't doing so hot, so far in round 2 they're both 2-1. I think they were ranked 2nd and 3rd in the overall rankings just for this round. So yeah, they're both doing pretty well this round. I mean, Air Force Ace, I think in round 1 only got a single win, and this round they've already got 2 wins. So kind of the reverse of Woongjin Stars in a way. Meanwhile, we do have a gas first for Iris, and I think a gas has also been planted for C in fact as well. So he's going to be a tech lab, and Barrack's not quite done yet for C, but he is going to add a factory. Okay, so we already have a pretty significant deviation between the builds here. It's going to be a Reaper first, Reaper expansion, Reaper into expansion for, actually wait, is it expansion? Oh no, actually he didn't make an expansion yet. Alright, never mind. It's just going to be a Reaper. It's just going to be a Reaper. And it's going to be scouted. Obviously he doesn't know it's a Reaper. Could potentially be a Marauder. But more likely, I think, given that it's not, the barracks wasn't proxied, I think it's more likely that it would be a Reaper. Like, if you go for a Marauder rush, I think you usually would proxy that barracks. And it looks like he's actually scared. He's actually looking for a... Oh no, he's actually just hiding the SCV. Okay, never mind. I thought he might have been looking for some kind of other hidden barracks, maybe. But, I'm just going to keep that, hide that at the 3rd. And there is the Reaper coming out for Iris. So the SCB doesn't quite see it. Meanwhile, it is going to be a 1-1-1 from C. What variation is it going to be? He's building a tech lab on the barracks, but he could potentially switch that out with the starport and get some Banshees. I think that's probably what he's going to do. Meanwhile, the SCB coming back in here to see what's going on, running right past that Marine. And the Reaper is just chilling outside. The Reaper can easily run in here and see what's going on. If he goes in relatively soon here, he will be able to pick off an SCV that's building like the starport, but actually he's just going to go around the side, the back of the natural here. I think probably because he's concerned that there might be a Marine or two that's like waiting on the right side of the base just to intercept the Reaper, and it looks like, oh, he's going to grab one of the mules, so crucial, and I think he got an SCV as well. Yeah, looks like definitely got an SCV as well. So getting one SCV and one mule. The mule, of course, being the crucial thing there. Nice move. Definitely worth that Reaper, I think. Meanwhile, 2 more barracks going down for him, as well as the command center already finished, in fact, turning now into orbital. So I was right before, it was in fact just a Reaper expand. But C has in fact expanded as well, now putting on some counter pressure with these Hellions and Marines. But there's a bunker already going up at the front. So C's expansion is quite a bit later than Iris's, but he's going to have some Banshees coming out here, so you can definitely do some economic harassment to make up for this. And that factory's lifted off. Is that going to switch with the barracks? Is he going to like... I actually don't know what the add-on was there. Guess we'll see. And another interesting thing is that after the Banshee, C can actually just make a medevac and like lift all those Hellions into the main base and maybe like run in with the Hellions in addition to the Banshee and kill a bunch of SCVs. Although I don't know if that would be in time because there's a lot of Marines coming out right now, so perhaps that's not actually the best idea. Perhaps I am just terrible at Terran, which is actually true. So yeah, Marine's just running around, gonna defend against that Banshee. I don't think he got Cloak. Well, I'm not sure. But we do have missile turrets going up anyway, so even if he does have it, it's not going to make a huge difference. It looks like, okay, what's just a reactor there? So going to be pumping out those Mariners, and has actually swapped out the tech lab to the factory now, so we can get some siege tanks. So only one Banshee, it seems. And now his expansion is finished. +1 meanwhile on the way for Berserker. And whoa, we're taking quite a bit of damage on that Banshee. Gonna probably have to fly home and repair it now. Be a little bit risky to continue. And I mean, so C went for the 1-1-1. He's got he's holding the watchtower right now. He's got a couple of kills with the Banshee, but otherwise I think it was a pretty ineffective attack from him. So I definitely say that Iris is in a slightly better position now. And it looks like he does scan the natural there to see that there is in fact a command center there. So he knows that C's not continuing or not trying to do any kind of weird one base all in. Meanwhile, it looks like that Starport actually went and made a tech lab and then left. So I guess he's gonna put a barracks there rather. Hellions just chilling at the front, not going in too far. Now the Marines coming out, they are gonna have to run away. Oh, is he paying attention? Yes, indeed he is. So the Banshee's back here. He's not repairing it though. I think that's a bit of a tiny mistake. It's not like a huge blunder, but I mean, there's no, just send one SCV to repair up that Banshee. That's going to continue to be quite useful. You can harass with it, or you can just leave it as part of your army and do some good damage. I mean, Banshee's a pretty high DPS, so it's definitely still useful. Meanwhile, the Starport getting its own reactor there. Going to start pumping out some medevacs to heal up his bioforces. And it looks like both players are going for the standard marine tank style here. No pure mech play or anything from either player, or pure bio, I guess. And hopefully we get to see as cool a game as we saw in the last series between Hansen and Snow. That was a pretty awesome TVT on Ohana. And I think, if it does end up happening on Antigua, it'll be even cooler because there's so many more expansions on this map. So if it does get split map, well, actually I don't know if there's so many more. Well, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so you have 2 extra if you split the map, you get 2 extra bases each. So you can actually make it like a super long base. Or super long game rather. Whoops. Anyway, the double upgrades going for C. I think Iris only has a single engineering bay, but he did get his upgrades faster, so I think he's got +1 already, and C doesn't have any upgrades. But C does have a few Hellions with his composition, and that will obviously help against the Marines. But look at this, dropping in the back. There are a few Marines and the Banshee at the back, but it looks like they don't see it. Do they see it? Do they see it? Now they see it. They're moving into position, but there's no medevac to help them out. There's the stim. It's still not finished. Oh man, stim is not finished for C's Marines. That could be horrible for him. These stim Marines with medevacs are going to completely demolish his Marines, but it looks like there is a siege tank in the back to help out now, so Iris is going to have to retreat here. But wow, Iris having the +1 advantage, having the stim advantage. I'm not sure about combat shields. I assume they both have them because they're not getting them at this moment. A nice little poke there. He didn't kill too much, killed a few Marines, and then had to back up. But just keeping on the pressure. Now getting his second engineering bay and his armory, so it looks like he's going to line it up so that when +1 finishes, he'll be able to get 2-1 immediately. It's almost like in Brood War doing that 2-1 mech timing. It's kind of funny. Anyway, it looks like sensor tower going up in the main base, going to help spot any more drops incoming into the main. But Iris looks like he's already taking his third right now, and kind of going forward with his main bio army. Going to put on some pressure. Does actually have a few Marauders mixed into his composition, which is interesting. He's not just going pure Marine, and that obviously will help a little bit if he can find the opportunity to maybe snipe some siege tanks. But he's not going pure bio. He's getting plenty of tanks behind this as well. But look at that, 5 siege tanks are out. So Iris going to be a little bit careful not to get in range of those. Whoa. Alright, he's going to be fine. And oh, actually, combat shields is now just on the way for C, or rather, it's almost finished. So he actually didn't have that in the earlier engagement. So Iris definitely had the upper hand there. But now we do have, oh no, actually those are still Iris's Marines. Alright, still controlling the middle watchtower. Still no sign of a third for C, and the third base of, okay, there's the third command center finally, but it's just now starting. It's not even started at the actual expansion location, so he's also going to have to float that out and lose even more time. Whereas, you know, Iris's thing is already done at his expo, so Iris taking a nice economic lead, I think, in this game. However, he does seem to be a little bit behind on the siege tank count. We haven't got a shot of his natural for a little while here, but yeah, he's only got 3 tanks with his army against the 5 or 6 tanks of his opponent right now, so constantly having to back up here. Actually, it looks like only 2 tanks. Yeah, he's got a decent number of Marines with good upgrades, but you know, those tanks are really the heavy hitters. They're just splashing everything to pieces. And it looks like, oh, he's going to try and sneak around the side. He's going to try and avoid the vision. He's going to try and avoid the lag. Unfortunately, he can avoid the lag. We can't avoid the lag. It's quite sad. So he's going to go for a drop here. Probably going to go out, and drop that third base. And if he simultaneously pushes on the ground to kind of keep C, or rather keep Iris distracted, got my players backwards, then it could be quite effective. A couple of barracks and factories at the natural, pumping out dudes. I like the fact that he's having some infrastructure there. I feel like having those buildings in the natural is a lot safer than in the main. You're a lot less vulnerable to drops in your main. But it looks like he is going to lose his third here, or at least get denied mining for a while. But we're going to have a big engagement in the middle of the map. Iris with many more Marines, but so many more siege tanks for C. Is it going to matter? A slightly better concave for Iris as well, and we're going to buffer into Iris, barely taking it with a handful of Marines remaining, even though C had a huge siege tank advantage. He was the one attacking into a defended position there. He sieged up second. He didn't get the great concave off, and this attack has been completely stopped. I mean, I did say that C should attack at the same time as doing that drop, but not when you're just going to lose all your units. And now C's moving out again. Oh, one siege tank gets completely obliterated by the 4 siege tanks of Iris here. And, you know, C, he tried to float out his third command center to take it, but he's immediately having to float it back. C looks like he's just completely devoid of siege tanks right now. I think, yeah, I don't think C can win anymore. Iris just, you know, now he's got a siege contain on his natural. He's up at 172 supply against the 104 supply of C, sending out more reinforcements. I think he should be a little bit careful though. Like, if he overcommits this contain and, you know, 1 or 2 good Marine medevac drops go into his main and his third, he could be in a little bit of trouble. I mean, we did see this in some TVTs in previous Pro League games where, you know, the Terran overcommits to the attack and gets completely demolished by Marine drops. So there's the GG. C doesn't have enough to stop it. And Iris, Berserker, takes game number 1 for Air Force Ace. C looking quite upset with himself there, actually. I don't think he made any particularly grievous errors. At least nothing compared to the likes of, you know, Kanata losing to Jadong with that BBS. But, well, Iris keeping Air Force Ace alive here, giving them a point. And I'm quickly going to run off to the bathroom, so BRB.
집중력이 좋았던 그런 한판 승부였습니다. 전반전을 놓친 공군 에이스 입장에서는 이런 식으로 가끔 한 번씩 나가주는 전형태의 이런 플레이 정말 선수들에게 힘이 될 것 같습니다. 어떤 선수가 어떤 자리에 출격하더라도 그냥 밀리는 것이 아니라 이렇게 상대 에이스를 하나하나 꺾어낼 수 있다는 거, 공군 에이스 진짜 이번 시즌 기대하게 되는 바거든요. 그렇죠. 진짜 배영준 선수가 가지고 있는 것은 뭐 예전에는 공격성이었습니다만 지금은 노련미거든요. 네. 그 노련미를 바탕으로 상대가 어떤 식의 운영을 할 줄 하는 그 선수라고 할지라도 어떤 식으로 이제 운영을 하더라도 다 대처할 수 있는 경력이 있는 이런 선수라서 이렇게 이제 한번 출격할 때마다 상대방의 에이스급 선수를 잡아주는 이런 활약만 보여주게 된다면 공군 에이스에서 배영준 선수의 존재감은 확실한 거죠. 네.